Corey, just to be clear, you only feel the obligation to tell the truth when you're under oath.
Which is clearly more than some of your contributors, as you know.
How can you
justify continuing to
Corey,
employ
you need to let me
someone
get a question
who's been accused of perjury?
Corey, if you want to ask the questions, you can become a journalist yourself.
Are you a journalist or are you not? I mean, is that what you are? Are you a journalist
Corey, listen,
or you're a talking head? Which one? Because
Corey,
I'm happy to answer your questions if they're honest and truthful.
You're listening with your mouth. And what I want you to listen to is, this is important. Do you lie to the media?
Question, Allison.
What is the answer? Yes or no?
I've answered your question.
Yes or no?
I'm as honest as I can be, as often as I can be.
So you confirmed that you were asked to obstruct justice?
No, Allison, please. That's not what I confirmed at all. By the way, the Mueller report was very clear. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction.
That's not what the Mueller report said, Corey.
It absolutely says that. And
Corey,
you should read the page that states that. And Bob Mueller
wait a second, Corey. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Time out. Did you read the Mueller report?
No, I never did.
Then how do you know what it says?
Because the members of Congress were very clear about what was in that report yesterday. And so I'm reiterating what they stated.
No, Corey, sorry.
Did you read the report?
Corey, of course I had to read the report.
You read the entire report?
Corey, of course I had to read the entire report. And let me tell you what it said.
Tell me.
There were 10 different examples of obstruction of justice in there.
That's not what it said. It did not say there were 10 examples of obstruction. Allison, you're being disingenuous.
Corey, here they are. Let me pull them up on the screen for you, since you didn't read the Mueller report.
Put the Mueller report up on the screen, please.
Here we go.
That's not the Mueller report,
Here are the
Allison.
examples.
Allison,
when the president asked Comey to let the Flynn investigation go, when he tried to stop Sessions' recusal. That's the one that you were involved in. You may want to read that part. When he fired Comey, when the president tried to remove Mueller, when the president tried to get Sessions to limit the probe. That's another one you were involved in. When he obscured the purpose of the Trump Tower meeting, when he asked Sessions to reverse his recusal, asking him again to deny attempts to remove Mueller, trying to influence cooperation of witnesses, including Flynn, Manafort, and Cohen. Those are just some of the examples that scores of legal experts say are obstruction of justice.
How can legal experts make a determination when they're unfamiliar with all the facts of the case? That is so disingenuous to go and make a predetermination as a, quote, legal expert without having the opportunity to hear both sides of the case. How is that not a predetermination against this president?
Because
it's
it lays
very
it out,
disingenuous.
Corey. It lays it out in the Mueller report, all of the examples that any regular citizen would have been charged and convicted of if they were not a sitting U.S. president. You know that part, right?
I don't know that to be true.
Right off the bat, I have to ask, what did CNN expect when they booked a guy who 24 hours ago admitted in front of Congress that he has absolutely no obligation to be honest to the media? I'd have been more surprised if the guy managed not to lie. But he did, expectedly, and yet the fact that CNN booked him anyway goes to show that it's not always about hearing from people who are willing to tell the truth. But with that said, Alisyn Camerota did do an excellent job in the face of someone who, again, is an admitted liar. Because now that he's not at risk of perjuring himself, he's once again free to spew whatever falsehoods he sees fit. And he dives right in with the most debunked claim of the last 2 years, that the Mueller report showed that there was no collusion and no obstruction. And I'm just shocked that he would even make such a claim, what with admitting only seconds later that he never even bothered to read the report that he just invoked. But the facts are that yes, there was absolutely 10 instances of obstruction of justice outlined in Mueller's report. And not only that, Lewandowski himself was involved in some of them. I mean, this is like Tom Brady saying that Deflategate never happened. We know from the Mueller report and from Lewandowski's own testimony to Congress only yesterday that Trump dictated a letter to Corey Lewandowski to be delivered to then Attorney General Jeff Sessions as if he'd written it himself, stating that Mueller's probe is very unfair, that the president had done nothing wrong, and that Sessions planned to meet with Mueller to limit him to investigating election meddling for future elections. Trump knew it was illegal, which is why he dictated it to Lewandowski and didn't write it or deliver it himself. Lewandowski knew it was illegal, so he passed it off onto someone else and skipped town. He literally fled on vacation. He gave it instead to White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy Rick Dearborn to deliver it for him, which Dearborn also failed to do because he knew it was illegal.
Rick Dearborn knew delivering the message was wrong. You knew it was wrong. That's why even after being asked to deliver it and saying you'd handle it soon, you passed it off to him and you never followed up. And guess what? I also think it's very, very wrong. In fact, I think the president asking a private citizen to try to scare his attorney general into ending the investigation into the president's conduct is obstruction of justice, Plain and simple.
And of course, Lewandowski homes in on this idea that the only reason he couldn't deliver the letter to Sessions that no one wanted to touch with a 10-foot pole was that he was on vacation.
When you confirmed that the president asked you to do that, why didn't you do that? If you didn't think it was wrong, why didn't you do what the president asked you to do?
Allison, I was very clear. I took my children on vacation, and you understand the priority of spending time with your kids, I'm sure.
How
so
long
that's
did
what
you
I
go on
did.
vacation for?
I was on vacation for weeks, but I don't live in Washington, D.C.
So, but before that, did you talk to the president? I mean, did you talk to Attorney General Sessions before you went on vacation?
Look, I was very clear about that. I had a conversation with Jeff, and then I didn't see Jeff, and I never delivered the message because I took my children on vacation.
But then
and
how
if
about
that's the
after
crime,
you went on vacation?
Allison,
You could have
if it's
talked
a
to him
crime to take
afterward.
my children on vacation, I'm guilty as charged.
Corey, you didn't do it, and you didn't do it because you must have thought it was wrong.
Apparently, even after he got home, he still couldn't deliver the message because he was in New Hampshire and not Washington, D.C. If only there was some method of transportation that could bring him from New Hampshire to D.C. Maybe one day. And look, I'm not saying that Lewandowski left on an impromptu vacation to avoid committing a crime, but I am saying that if there ever was a good time to go on vacation, it would probably be the week that someone asked him to commit obstruction of justice on behalf of the President of the United States. The fact is, no matter how many times Trump's mouthpieces try to insist that the thing written down in black and white doesn't exist, no matter how many times they tell us not to believe what our ears and our eyes are telling us, no matter how much they try to push this Orwellian version of reality on us, it doesn't make it true. In fact, the only honest thing we've heard from Corey Lewandowski so far is that he's willing to lie to the media, and he wasted no time proving that today.